Hello, welcome back to RailRoads Online. Today we're gonna see if we can make our run down the hill to the smelter. We have just completed our track down the hill to the smelter and back up the hill on the other side. We have not tested any of it yet, so we're on our first ride along. Ooh, before we get going, we should probably run back here and set a few brakes just to keep the cars stretched out. I don't know. This, I followed a path the best I could. So this far exceeds our 3-degree grade that we try to stick to. This one's going to drop off pretty steep at a few points, so I do not know how well brakes are going to hold. This could be not successful in several different places. So we'll just kind of have to take it a little bit on the easy side. Probably not quite this easy, but I know gravity's going to take over here, and then there's not going to be much pulling. This turn right here is pretty sharp, probably too sharp. Probably needs to be fixed right off of the bat, but alright, we actually got through there. So, we have some uphill, some downhill. I tried to keep it as low to the ground as I could. I don't think there's any kind of return trip up this hill in any way, shape, or form. The grade got really steep. I think there's 8-9% grade, so I don't know that anything's ever going to come up this, but I figure this is really going to be a down run with the coal, or with the iron ore. Turns out the iron ore has to go down there to the smelter. At least that's the first place we know that it's got to go. So we went ahead and did connect the iron mine to the smelter. And here we go with, this is where it just drops. This is going to get pretty roller coastery in here. Oh, we seem to be handling it okay. Starting to pick up some speed though. Alright, so at least calmly we can make it through there. That should be the worst of the steep turns, so let's see if we can go back and at least turn that brake off. And we can get a view out there over the valley. This track looks pretty cool, I think, laid into the side of the mountain. This was the dev pre-path, I called it. You could see the green road from up at the iron mine, so I wanted to try to follow that down as far as I could. I don't know if we got the intended path all the way down or not, but we tried to stick to it. If you know if this is that path, feel free to comment below. I'm not sure. We did the best we could. Wanted to keep it nice and low. I was thinking in my head the whole time that really we're not going to worry about trying to get up this, so was a little more free to just bring it down. We might even be able to do that without brakes or anything on back there. But it helps keep the cars stretched out so they don't stack up on one another in the sharp turns. So to the best of my knowledge, you're supposed to have a little bit of back brake on there, or it helps going down hill with steep curves. Probably take out those couple of trees yet. Guess we left a few pretty close. We have one more pretty good turn here, and then another sharp turn down at the bottom. But we're not really even applying much juice. I think it's more that we're pulling over those brakes on those cars probably back there than anything. And then here we're gonna take off. But okay, we made it around that turn. That was a question mark turn. Good to see we're still on the track. It's gonna take off one more time here, and then we have a bridge, and then after this bridge I think we pretty much get back to our 3% rule. But these in here, you can definitely see the not 3%. We better not overcook this turn down here. Once you get that speed built up, there's no real getting rid of it. Pretty good bridge here over the river. Lens for some nice views as we wrap around for the rest of our descent. Hopefully we stay on the rail down here. Have to watch, check our switches. Really can't remember what direction most of those are in. I pretty much laid the track yesterday evening, and now giving it its first run down the hill today here. So hopefully we stay on the tracks with not too many problems, but we are going to have to check the switches, so we don't want to go too crazy too fast. Into the valley. We'll go ahead and take this track to the left. We'll go ahead and turn that off. Run back here. Now we're on the flat ground. I think we can turn off these back brakes. Oh, that's the wrong direction. Alright, get those turned off. That's the right direction. This switch out here is not the right direction. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. We're gonna hit this switch up here. Hopefully it's right. Yeah, it is. Whew. Be too late to do anything about it if it wasn't. We're gonna have to stop on the way out though, because that one is definitely not right. We can lean our head out the window here as we reach the smelter. This track here I'm pretty sketchy about for drop-offs. This looks like where the iron ore gets dumped. This will be finally a use for cordwood. but not a lot of docking space here. So I wasn't really sure how we were going to deal with that. Because there's, you know, obviously you can see they do not line up. So that was our solution for now. We may come back and address that at a future time when we actually have some idea of what may or may not work. I'm not sure. I do like this Loco. Nice and big. Room. This pile of wood is insane. I just look at, I mean, it's as high as you are. So we shouldn't need to fill this one up for a really long time. So that's kind of nice. And what do we have back here? See if we can run along. Yeah, let's just see if we can outrun the train to the switches. We'll just kind of take it on a tour here. Running down, looks like after we get cordwood, we're going to get beams and raw iron. So iron, what is it? Rails and raw iron. So I have no idea where that goes, but we're going to have to earn enough money for ore cars to bring down that hill, and we are going to have to figure out how to get the cordwood down here. As of now, we don't have track finish to the cordwood. Okay, that's that way. So we're gonna have to figure out what we do with cordwood delivery. Not sure how that's gonna work yet. So we do have some work to do. Never-ending work on the railroad here. Getting started, getting it going. Be kind of nice once we can get a few more of the industries connected. I mean, we just hooked 2 more into the chain, so that's kind of nice. And there comes Monster on down the rail. Just a really good looking locomotive. Big. I mean, this one you really get a sense of the size from, you know, compared to Betsy. She's pretty small. So this one is quite a bit bigger. I'm not sure how different size these are compared to their bigger brothers, if you will, on the standard gauge rail. If they're same size locomotive, just kind of on a different carriage underneath, I'm not exactly sure. I think in some cases it's probably true. This is I like this locomotive so far quite a bit. I'm pretty impressed and happy with this one. As I say that, it's bogging down coming out. But this track does not go over 3%. We have not even really cleared back to the trees apparently very well down here. We're going to have to widen out some tree growth if this works. Pretty sure the track will work because it just set it for 3% and then just, you know, kind of meandered my way up the hill until we met in a good spot up there. Really nice valley back here. I wonder if we can't somehow do something with that. That looks pretty cool. And there's the smelter. Nice simple track down there for now. We may have to add more, but as for now, that seems to serve what we need. It gets us down there and gets us back out of there. Should be a fairly long road with the iron ore. but the cordwood should come down this way and then head right back up this way. I'm not sure what we're gonna do that with yet. Maybe we just get a few cordwood cars and a few coal cars for Monster, and we can pick up, well, yeah, but we have to take wood up to that, be able to get the wood up there. So we definitely have some rolling stock issues that we're gonna have to work out. Definitely gonna have to make some more money and pick up some more rolling stock as we expand into more industry, which is to be expected. Not sure what combination of rolling stock we will pick up just yet. Oh, let's stop. We have a switch coming up here, or don't we? We don't. Oh, no switch. Oh, well, we stopped for no reason. Let's see if we can get back moving easy enough. Sure does. Yeah, I mean, this train really does the trick, so maybe it's just about running this one train all around and not messing around too much. We might be able to either swap out one or two of these for some cordwood and maybe an ore car or two, and see if we can add a few more stops to this train's journey, make it a little more profitable to run. But it looks like our down the hill and Smelter and back up the hill all seem to work there, so that's nice. Little dual bridges with the siding. And then that's going to bring us up to the sawmill where we can load this bad boy back up and see if we can get the iron mine filled up today. And on our way to picking up some cars to get that out of there. Those cars are pretty expensive as compared to the rest of the cars that we have so far, so gonna take a little bit of money to get there. Looks like we're at about 2,000 now. I think those are like 800 a piece, so if we go for 4 of those or 5 of those, we're gonna need a little more bankroll yet. But in the process of filling the wood up there, that should make us a little bit. And not sure if it'll be quite enough, or we'll have to supplement with some other loads, but that will be the plan. So I think with that we will call the trip a success. Iron mine to smelter, smelter to sawmill, all working, all operating. I'll go ahead and fill this up, make a few more runs, make some money, and we will update it from there. Alright, thanks y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a good day.